I'm actually doing this without a script. By the way, I'm also taking on my second commission in a row with a certain artist after they redid one of my OCs, Penny Fen. Now doing Acid Blight. But it is the so-called holiday of Halloween, so celebrate that to the Americans. I'm Australian. I could not give a rat's ass about it. But apparently, for the Ruby community, they stuck Ruby's birthday on Halloween. I also consider that very goddamn ironic, considering how many times I've said they took so much inspiration from Soul Eater. And the whole theme of Soul Eater is bloody Halloween. As I said, I have no friggin' script for this. The point of this video, it has nothing to do with Soul Eater or friggin' Ruby. It's a message going around that's been going around for a while now, that Ruby is on its last legs. It's friggin' dying. And I'm gonna bring an interesting perspective on this, because I would say for I don't even know how long now. I don't keep track of it. Really, I'm just quite thankful to the community that I've joined. I joined Alicia X Life and technically Alicia X Death, who's a VTuber. I'm not part of many, if that many at all, VTuber communities. Despite like in Sydney, I got to know a VTuber at like I constantly see a VTuber at the conventions all the time, whether it's Oz Comic Con, Supernova, or Smash if they attend. Miyu, and they're always cosplaying. I've never been like the biggest fan of overall VTubing, because it's always been someone creating a fake personality behind a character, and I've never been a huge fan of that. So when it comes to like actually following a VTuber, I always just prefer someone who's just them, who's like is just themselves. Maybe they have social anxiety issues, or what I later found out about Iron Mouse, they had to actually be a VTuber due to medical conditions. They couldn't leave the house, and that's fair enough. So it's like when you find out actual stories like that, other people, but yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But back to the Ruby issue. The perception I bring on this as to why Ruby's gonna suffer even more going forward, because people are like, well, we just got the movies out, and I tried to make a video on the movies as to why I don't think they're gonna do well. Despite what the fandom's gonna think, I don't think they're gonna do well. I think Warner Brothers has a huge expectation as to the profit margin for the movies to actually make. Every movie has a profit margin. They get given a budget, there's a profit margin. If the product doesn't bring in the profit margin, if the marketing doesn't bring in a profit margin, the creators are in a shitstorm. I mean, they kicked Dwayne Johnson in the fucking balls over Black Adam. Do you not think they will kick Kerry Shawcross in the fucking balls if he doesn't bring in the money for 2 crossover movies? Just ask yourself that straight off the freaking bat. Really. As for the VTuber aspect of this, I don't mod or anything. I'm just part of the community. But being in the background and seeing how the community gets run, and I'm not even in the Patreon, so I can't nominate shit. I mean, technically we can nominate shit. They have a recommendations section for anime videos and other stuff, but it's up to the VTuber herself to pick out what she wants to do. And by the time I've even joined the community, stuff's blocked up for weeks, if not months. And Patreons, when they join, obviously get a selection, and they don't get to pick what they want. They pick out of the blocked up stuff of what gets chosen. So that's a point I want to make clear. Think priority wise. Think priority wise out of RWBY itself. Whenever we've joined a Twitch chat for Alicia, and she's literally just speaking her mind on like the channel itself and just being herself, it's like you get an insight. And this shouldn't even be just her speaking her mind. It should be like basic common sense from a business perspective of how to run your own friggin' channel. It's like if I wanted to start up my channel, if you wanted to start up your channel, you would not put RWBY on your channel and expect a big income. You wouldn't expect big views in 2023 as well as big monetization. Right now, why is Alicia watching One Piece? Why? Gear 5 just happened. Live action movie just happened. It was very successful. Why? In both the anime and, if you look, you know how Marvel is basically casual right now? One Piece is friggin' casual right now. You can go to any convention and people yak about it. It's turned into Dragon Ball, basically. Any person with any common sense would start watching One Piece at the moment. So it's like a good business investment. You got a YouTube channel, you watch One Piece, it brings in viewers, you get a good view count, you get monetization. In 2023, 10 years after RWBY started, you can't say that about the RWBY community. You can't turn around to people and say, watch the original 4 RWBY trailers. It will bring you good views. The RWBY community is dropped to shit. People in it don't want to support each other. It's like people who do fan art in the RWBY community. Like, even if it's of the latest goddamn movie, I know people who are doing fan art of the latest movie friggin' crossover design, and they'll get views, but they won't get likes, or they won't get comments, or they won't get shares. The community these days is a pain in the ass. They don't like supporting each other, and it's for vicious goddamn reasons. It's vicious. It's like, oh, we won't share that person's work because that person also has their own AU. And because it does, because their AU goes against the canon, we don't support them. I've seen comments like that in this fandom. Because that person has their own AU and it goes against the canon, it's a spiteful friggin' community. And I'm just like, this community, honestly, or I think that's why the RWBY itself is just gonna fall apart. It deserves to friggin' just die. Because you can't get people together. You can't get fans together to go, hey, just at one point early on, I think this was like back volume 4, I think that's when that guy was, oh god, I actually wish I had Murderer Birds to actually ask on this. There was this guy in the fandom that was creating these trailers on the side. It was like a charcoal trailer. Was the first one, I think. There was another one that was like a Wolverine type guy with claws. He had like white hair and everything. I think it was a Faunus. There was like, I think there was like 4 of them. And it was like back then, everyone in the community got together and actually supported him and supported each other. And it didn't matter that this guy's bloody shit might have gone against the canon or wasn't part of the canon, or if it was a part of the canon, no one gave a shit. It was like, give the guy the friggin' views. Or maybe, I hate to say it, maybe people only supported his trailers because Murderer Birds watched it. Maybe this might be the horrible truth. Unless Murderer Birds actually watches a piece of fan material and then actually tells the fandom, watch this, then the rest of the fandom watches it. I'm actually quite scared that might actually be how the RWBY fandom operates. Because I think that is how critiquing the RWBY fandom actually begun back in Volume 5. Because up until Volume 5, everyone just kissed RWBY's ass. And then I attacked Miles and Kerry out of friggin' rage. And I said a lot of stupid shit that I should not have. In ways that I should not have. And Miles said in an interview that I had some points, but I should not have been such a dick about it. And I admit, I should not have. And especially to Miles, I would apologise today. Because he still works for RWBY. But he separated himself as well. And he went on to do amazing voice acting. Like, in different shows that he's gone on to, whether like it's like Transformers or Camp, he sounds different in every show. You got to give him credit. It's like in different shows that he goes into, he actually sounds different. It's like actual voice acting. I can't give that same credit to other RWBY voice actors and voice actresses, unless they're like the high paid professionals. Miles has actually gone out there and been like, I want to do this, and he's actually gone out there and done shit. But it's like, it's a reoccurring thing in the RWBY community. The community needs permission to do shit. It's like, can we, like, as I said, Murder reacted to stuff, the rest of the community reacted to shit. Miles looked at some criticism. he had some points, but he was a dick about it. All of a sudden, the rest of the community started critiquing rwby, but they were nicer about it. It's like the community's very friggin' weird, and now we're at the point where the community doesn't operate well together at all. It's fractured beyond belief. You got people saying, and I think the thing with Volume 10, it's a business standpoint. I think it's more a business standpoint. It's like, are they gonna make? Well, I'll finish it off really fast. As I mentioned before, is one, it could be that they need to reach a profit margin off Volume 9, off the two movies, and if they don't reach a profit margin, WB might just shut them down and be like, no, we can't be fucked investing any more money in you, because just look at WB, they're shutting down lots of shit. Marvel's doing the same thing. They're looking at how much they've invested on so much material, and they're either shutting down projects or they're reworking them. So that could happen to rwby at the same thing, because even look at Volume 9, it was smaller than the volume before. It made no goddamn sense. There's another option. Volume 10 could already be clear to go. It could already have the green light, and all this green light Volume 10 shit, it could be nonsense. Kerry and the whole friggin' crew could have been given the friggin' green light from the moment Volume 9 happened, and they could be just teasing you from now. It's like, hey, we're going to be making 2 movies. We only need a certain amount of crew for the movies. So they gave the crew who were going to be working on the movies passes. They all went into work for the movies. Started working on the movies. Whoever's not working on the movies got like a temporary leave. Bye-bye. You're not getting paid. Because that's how big companies work. If they're working via Rooster Teeth, maybe they'll get paid while they're leaving because, smaller company, oh, we're generous, we're dumbasses. But WB, we're not paying you shit. Piss off. You're fired. Bang. Temporary leave. Gone. And the ones that are working on the movie, once the movies are done, you're on temporary leave as well. Fuck off, you're not getting paid. Bang. Done. And there could be a green light for Volume 10 already. But it's not starting until the production doesn't start till a certain time. So all of these assholes have probably could have already written a freaking contract saying they're not allowed to mention anything about the production or the start of Volume 10 until such time as blah 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 starts, and it's all written into their contract. If they break their contract, they could end up sued, and that's why they've all shut up. That could be the big possibility. Meanwhile, all the fans are online. Oh, hashtag Greenlight Volume 10, and you're all doing it for friggin' nonsense, stupid reasons. That's a friggin' another possibility. And I'm just like, it's getting frustrating and stupid that no one has thought about all of this, because it's business. It's business. It's business. It's stupid. And at this point, given how much other shit is on TV, just shut up. Please, God, just shut up. I hate to say it, shut up. And my last piece of evidence, in true honesty, given how I mentioned how fractured the freaking community is, go support the friggin' artists. I'm following how goddamn hounds. I'm a bit sad. He's I'll be honest. I'm not even sure hounds are here. Hound, just Hound in general. I want Hound to start doing commissions at some point. I love Hound's neon work. All the Halloween work Hound did was friggin' amazing. Some of the most trippiest friggin' shit I've seen. If you look up Halloween Ruby Hound on Twitter, you'll find the work. Oh my god. After One by holy shit, Jin Dian Jun. I hope I got that right. That's who I'm commissioning right now. Not going to mention anything else about the work. You look up their work. Friggin' amazing. The After One work I decided was going to do because my OCs were basically the Ruby age, and I was like, time to get a time skip. If After One has a time skip, my characters are going to get a time skip. And the way June handled After One, I was like, my characters are going to look friggin' amazing. I just got to find some inspiration for clothing based on Mistral's Asian theme. Penny Fen looks goddamn amazing. I can't wait to see how Acid Blood turns out. And one thing I hope Kruby one day I actually sat down one day just for an hour, and I was just thinking it over. And I don't know, it really, I had to really think this over. It was Raymond, Celtic Phoenix, and I don't know if it was his decision just for him solo, or if he actually was on a group chat with the rest of the Sketchy Huntsmen. I don't know why he ended up doing this or why they did this, but the more I think about it, the more glad I am they did it. It's like they got through with Volume 6 and they were like, with Fixing Ruby, and they thought, instead of going into Volume 7 and doing Fixing Ruby, which is the Atlas arc, and bloody hell, what a pain in the ass problem that would have been. Truthfully, pain in the ass problem that would have been, because of the amount of issues that are wrong in that arc. Straight off the bat, I'll list the main problem off the bat. It's not human versus faunus. It's rich versus poor, which is a critical wrong theme in the show. It's something Kruby fucked up, and they retconned by sticking a faunus crater in Volume 8 because they realised they fucked up. And there's heaps of other problems with that arc. Volume 7 is one, oh my god, I pity them when they get to that arc. Jeez, Raymond, you got your work cut out for you, mate. I know you're a professional writer now, mate, but they left you a mess. But they've gone back to they said they're gonna do volumes 1 to 3 again. They're gonna do Fixing Ruby 1 to 3 again. And you know, when you go back and you watch how they've done Fixing Ruby 5 and 6 in Mistral, and how much work they put into that, especially with some scenes and some artists, and you know how many artists they've actually brought on board for the Sketchy Huntsman now, and how much the tech's getting better. You gotta wonder, I'm actually curious, are they just putting the scenes more compact? Are they just putting it into one package? Or are they actually gonna even rework volumes 1 to 3? Are they redoing their own work? Like, did they see some of their old work and they're like, we can do that better. We can do fixing RWBY 1 to 3 better. And I'm like, shit. These are guys who fixed RWBY and now they're fixing their own work. I swear to God, if this is what's going through Raymond's head and the Sketchy Huntsman, I got more respect for them than I do RWBY on a whole nother scale. I'm joining his fucking Patreon, man, right now. I'm uploading this and I'm tagging Raymond and I hope he watches it to the fucking end, and I want to know the answer to this bloody question because I've put it off for so long, but I swear to God, I need to know the answer. You know what, regardless of the answer, 6 volumes is enough time. And I know I'm commissioning my own art through artists just for my own personal collection. But, no. It's been long enough. I should join the Patreon. Yeah, I should. The Huntsman and Raymond have put out so much entertainment over the years. They deserve it. Cheers to them for that. And after the disappointment that was Canon Volume 7 and 8, whatever he ends up bloody giving me on fixing RWBY Volume 7 and 8, it has to be fucking better. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's gonna be the end of my friggin' video. But yeah, that's my perspective from a VTuber point of view. I don't think anybody you can convince any VTuber these days, and the statistics prove it. Look up VTubers, popular VTubers, or even new VTubers. Any VTuber has played Metal Gear Solid Resurgence as Raiden. Any of them will go out there and they'll be told, oh, play as Raiden. Play the tutorial. play the OST for the memes. Every one of them has played that goddamn game, and they've got tons of friggin' views. It's been monetized to shit. They don't have to worry about copyright, nothing. That's a friggin' staple mark of YouTube. But in this day and age, you can't convince them to watch RWBY.